Travel has a wonderful way of connecting people, places, and even machines in unexpected ways. I recently heard about a delightful couple from Ireland, let's call them Eochaid and Liam, who decided to embark on the Great American Road Trip. Instead of renting a modern sleek RV, they chose a path less traveled, one with a bit more character and history. They found their perfect travel companion not in the United States, but just across the border in Canada. Their vehicle of choice was a vintage Class C Vanguard camper, a classic motorhome that had seen its fair share of miles and memories long before they ever turned the key in its ignition. This wasn't just a vehicle, it was a time capsule on wheels. This old Vanguard was more than just a means of transportation. It was their home for an ambitious cross-country journey. Imagine leaving the rolling green hills of Ireland for the vast, diverse landscapes of America, from the towering redwoods of California to the sun-drenched coast of Florida. Eochaid and Liam were seeking an authentic experience, and their camper was a central part of that quest. A brand new vehicle, with all its modern conveniences, might have offered a smoother ride, but it would have lacked the soul and the stories that seemed to be built right into the wooden cabinets and faded upholstery of their chosen Vanguard. They embraced the challenge, ready for whatever the open road and their classic Canadian camper had in store for them. The camper itself was a testament to a different era of road tripping. Unlike today's factory-produced uniform models, this Vanguard had personality. You could see the craftsmanship in its design, a sturdy and reliable build meant to withstand the rugged Canadian wilderness. For Eochaid and Liam, this wasn't a drawback, it was a feature. They were not just tourists passing through. They were becoming part of a long tradition of explorers who valued the journey over the destination. Their choice reflected a desire to connect with the road on a deeper level, to feel every bump and appreciate every mile, knowing their trusty, albeit old camper was carrying them toward their next great adventure. Their journey began with the simple act of purchasing the camper and pointing it south, crossing the border into the United States. This act alone was a beautiful symbol of the interconnectedness of North America, a story of an Irish couple in a Canadian vehicle exploring the heart of America. The camper, with its slightly worn exterior and cozy, well-loved interior, was the perfect vessel for their dream. It promised not just a trip, but an immersion into a lifestyle of freedom, resourcefulness, and discovery. It was a bold choice, one that set the stage for a truly unique and memorable expedition, proving that the best travel experiences often come from the most unconventional decisions. One of the most noticeable features of their Canadian-born camper was a small but proud symbol adorned on its side, the maple leaf. This emblem, instantly recognizable as a mark of Canada, became an interesting conversation starter as they traveled deeper into the American heartland. At truck stops, and in campgrounds, fellow travelers would admire their vintage rig, but some would inevitably comment on the flag. "You're driving across America. Shouldn't you have a stars and stripes on there?" They would sometimes hear. This sentiment, often shared with a friendly smile, highlighted a common tendency to equate a vehicle with a statement of national pride, as if the flag itself was a prerequisite for the journey. This perspective, while understandable, misses the beautiful nuance of their story. Eochaid and Liam were not making a political statement, they were simply travelers who had found the right vehicle for their adventure. And that vehicle happened to be Canadian. The camper was manufactured in Winkler, Manitoba, a fact that explained the maple leaf's presence. It was a badge of origin, a mark of the hands that built it, not a declaration of allegiance. For the Irish couple, the camper's nationality was a charming part of its history, a detail that added another layer to their international adventure. The Vanguard was a Canadian product, and its symbol was a simple statement of fact, not a challenge to American patriotism. The expectation of an American flag on a vehicle traveling through the United States speaks to a broader cultural idea about national identity. It's a notion that suggests, when you are in a country, you should display its symbols. However, travel should be about breaking down these very boundaries, not reinforcing them. The beauty of their journey was its multicultural nature, an Irish couple, in a Canadian camper, exploring America. The maple leaf wasn't a symbol of division, it was a symbol of the global community of travelers. It was a quiet reminder that the open road belongs to everyone, regardless of where you or your vehicle originated. The friendly debates over the flag never soured their experience. Instead, they became a gentle lesson in perspective. Eochaid and Liam would simply explain the camper's Canadian roots, and most people would nod in understanding. their curiosity satisfied. The camper's performance, its ability to climb a steep mountain pass or cruise along a desert highway, was entirely unaffected by the emblem painted on its side. A vehicle's reliability is determined by its engine, its mechanics, and its construction, not by the flag it flies. This simple truth often got lost in the light-hearted banter, but it remained at the core of their practical, no-nonsense approach to travel. Living in a vintage camper comes with its own unique set of rules and required adjustments, a reality Awife and Liam quickly learned to embrace. The electrical system in their older Vanguard was not designed for the power-hungry gadgets of the 21st century. It was a delicate system, built for a time when a few light bulbs and a small water pump were the extent of its electrical demands. Plugging in a modern, high-wattage appliance like an electric coffee maker or a microwave could easily overload the circuits, potentially causing a power failure or even damage. This meant they had to be mindful and deliberate about their energy consumption, adopting a more analog lifestyle out of necessity. This is where the hand-cranked coffee grinder came into play. Instead of a machine that would tax their camper's fragile power grid, they opted for a manual grinder. Every morning, they would take turns grinding their coffee beans by hand, the rhythmic sound becoming a cherished part of their daily ritual. This simple manual process was not seen as a burden, but as a meditative start to their day. It was a throwback to a simpler time, perfectly in sync with the spirit of their vintage camper. This small adjustment was a practical solution that protected their vehicle's systems while also adding a touch of romance and intention to their mornings on the road. This hands-on approach extended to many other aspects of their life in the Vanguard. They learned to be resourceful, finding clever ways to live comfortably without relying on the push-button convenience of modern life. It was a constant exercise in problem-solving and adaptation. These little quirks and challenges were not frustrations, they were part of the adventure itself. In a world that is increasingly automated, their journey was a celebration of doing things the old-fashioned way. It fostered a deeper connection to their environment and to their rolling home, as they became intimately familiar with its every groan and every limitation. People would sometimes joke about their manual methods, teasing them about their primitive coffee making or lack of modern amenities. Why not just get a new RV with a generator, some would ask, missing the point entirely. The couple understood that the choice was not about what was better or more efficient in an absolute sense. It was about what was right for their journey and their vehicle. Choosing the hand-crank grinder was not a rejection of technology. It was an act of respect for the history and limitations of their vintage camper. It was a practical decision that ultimately enhanced their experience, making them more present and engaged in their daily lives. The friendly teasing about their Canadian camper and their manual coffee grinder highlights a common human tendency to create playful rivalries. Whether it's nation versus nation or machine versus manual labor, people enjoy a bit of light-hearted competition. The jokes about the maple leaf versus the stars and stripes, or the electric grinder versus the hand-crank model, all fall into this category. While these conversations are usually harmless and fun, they can sometimes obscure a more profound truth. The essence of a journey like Awife and Liam's is not about proving one thing is superior to another. It is not a contest of national pride or technological advancement. The real heart of travel, especially a road trip of this scale, lies in the experience itself, the adventure, the discovery, and the human connections made along the way. The country where the camper was built is merely a footnote in a much larger story. The Vanguard's Canadian origin did not make it any more or less capable of navigating the winding roads of the Blue Ridge Parkway, or the vast emptiness of the Nevada desert. Its purpose was to carry its occupants safely and provide shelter, a task it performed admirably, regardless of the emblem on its exterior. The journey was about the landscapes they witnessed, not the flag on their vehicle. Ultimately, travel is a deeply personal endeavor. It is about the freedom to explore, the courage to embrace the unknown, and the joy of creating memories that will last a lifetime. For Awife and Liam, their adventure was defined by the sunsets they watched from their camper door, the interesting people they met at roadside diners, and the satisfaction of successfully navigating a cross-country trip in a vehicle with a mind of its own. These are the moments that matter, the experiences that enrich our lives and broaden our perspectives. The nationality of their RV was an interesting detail, but it was not the headline. Their story serves as a beautiful reminder to all of us who love to travel. It encourages us to look beyond superficial symbols and focus on what truly counts. The spirit of the open road is one of unity and shared experience, not division and competition. It is about the thrill of the journey, the people you share it with, and the freedom to chart your own course. Eowulf and Liam, with their Irish spirit, their Canadian camper, and their American adventure, embodied this philosophy perfectly. They proved that the best trips are not about where you or your vehicle come from, but about where you are going and the joy you find along the way.